Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Glow the Fuck Up podcast. It is the number one sunless podcast in the sunless industry, and you are here chit-chatting with your spray tan besties, Steph Taylor.
Hi guys, it's Kelsey, and our friend Jen.
Hi guys. Yes, we are so excited to bring you guys a little tidbit from our friend Jenn Dieas over here, the owner of Glow Out Salons. She is a heavy hitter. She's been in the industry for quite some time, and we want to pick her brain. We want to chat. We want her to drop some gems for the listeners. So Jenn, thank you so much for being here with us today. We are so excited to have you on.
You're so welcome. I'm so excited to finally talk to you guys.
We are so excited to have you. So I guess first things first, for those who don't know, can you give us like a little spiel about you, your background, and then where you're at right now and what you're doing?
I'm coming to you live from my camper van, self-built during my COVID epiphany of life. I was like, you know what?
Love it.
I'm just going to build a camper van, travel around the country until all you guys figure this out. And
right.
Well, because now I'm here, I'm in Bozeman, Montana. I'm actually doing a tanning pop-up this week every day with a partner studio, Club Pilates, and it's been amazing. It's been so cool after 18 years in the industry, starting mobile and then moving to renting spaces all over the city so I could reach more people, to having storefronts, to having, multiple storefronts in multiple states. Now to go back like full circle to the beginning mobile, but I'm in Yellowstone, like a dream. It's just really cool. Yesterday I posted a reel and it was like us popping up the tanning tent in Yellowstone. I'm like, this is insane that this little idea that I had in my head that everyone thought I was loca coming from Florida.
Right.
You're going to spray tan people? That's so weird. Like, have fun. To now it brought me out to Montana. Like, what a dream,
That is so cool. I think that's just such a testament to just your creativity, and you can really do whatever the fuck you want to do in this industry. It is still so new. It is still so fresh. We can really mold it into whatever business model works for us. And that's just what's so beautiful and something that I love so much about the sunless industry. There's no cookie cutter way to do this. And you've set such an example of that. So I love that about you.
Oh, thanks. And something that I've learned backing up to that is like, even if you've started and you've been doing it one way for X amount of years, you can always, with new information, make new choices and change direction. And I'm like, God, this is the freest I've ever felt. Like, what is next? What could I do next? What is my wildest idea that I like completely is off the wall? Because I could probably make that happen. So that's kind of my mindset is like, fuck it, just go for it. Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's such like a beautiful thing about life and like just the human experience. When you do have new information, it's totally okay to say, hey, I've changed my mind. Mm-hmm. I don't think the way that I used to do things or what I used to support or what I used to stand by really resonates with who I am today. So let's change. Change is beautiful. Kelsey and I are always like, shouting at the rooftops, rebrand, change your business name, do something new, feel something, bitches. Like,
it's true. I remember, because I've gone through so many different stages and like tweaking the wheel so much. My business has evolved. It still stayed true to its roots, but its roots have allowed to like deepen and grow. And it's been really fun to just explore and do things different. I started my business when I was 26 and I'm 44. So it's...
Oh my God, yeah. You're like a different person completely.
Yeah, it's a lifetime away. And what served me at 26 or like where my head was at or my energy levels or what was working then is different. And I have to honor that and really kind of pivot and grow when I feel the need,
Absolutely. That's so important.
Yeah.
So speaking of all of your different phases, talk to us about all of your businesses and services that you currently offer. And for those who don't know, Jenn and her team were kind enough to host us in Chicago for our event in February that we held, and they're all angels. And Jenn and I got to talking, and I was like, I can't believe everything that you do and manage.
Literally.
So let her rip, and let's hear all of the different areas.
Things. Well, it's interesting. I started off mobile, just like a lot of the listeners. I started off mobile. I was mobile probably for 3.5 to 4 years. And then I also rented spaces around the city. Then I finally got a space and did a build out. And at that time, having a storefront was like everything. So I kind of went that path and did that. Then I added, because it was just at the trend about, I don't know, 12 or 13 years ago, we added blowouts because that was a new trend and everyone was getting blowouts. I'm an esthetician and nail tech by trade. So I was licensed 22 years ago in aesthetics and nails. So adding that service in, and then we would have a nail artist in, and then we did makeup. So we did parties for probably 10 years where we just turned and burned every weekend. Wow. It was party of 10 for 2 hours, party of 12 for 2 hours, party of 14. It was insanity. When I think about it now, I'm like, that was crazy. And I'll see my archives on Insta. I'm like, whoa, I was really doing it, wasn't I? But now, we've done all of those things and they've been amazing. Post-COVID, every demographic was super different in how that went for them. And post-COVID for us, our restrictions were really, really tight, kind of similar to California, I would think. And so the blowouts, I was like, that's not coming back for a while. And I think I was right about that, thankfully, which is why I started the van. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to I spaced out my space. I just rented it out to hair renters in the back. I kept my tanning services. We just kind of held on to those PPPs as long as we could to make payroll. And we just pivoted and made it work. And we never really needed to bring those services back because in my mind, that blowout trend had already hit and popped. It was great. But then during COVID, the Dyson came out and okay, everybody can do a major blowout on themselves. So now we really just focus on spray tanning, spray tan training, event rentals. And that's really our focus is, finding new partners, opening up new locations, being in new markets. And that's been really freeing. So out of that COVID breakdown, where at the time I was like, oh my God, this is the end of the world for me. I can't deal with this. Came this whole different level of freedom because I chose to dive into it and say, okay, I'm going to rework this. I'm going to see what works. I'm going to keep evaluating as I go. And I'm just going to ride this wave. And it really has served us well because now we're back to the basics and we love tanning. It's obviously my favorite thing. Training is amazing. Podcasting with you guys is amazing. Spray specs, our safety glasses, has really been a fun passion project for me. I thought to myself, I'm like, Jen, I can't believe you didn't realize that you needed this for the last 18 years. What in the hell? But we didn't know because, you guys know, technology is changing. We didn't have a lot of tools on the market. When I started, there was no trainings. There was no trainings that you could find. So I just taught myself, trial and error over the years, and then visiting other spray tanners around the country. So it's really evolved a lot. But this place now is super sweet to be in this full circle, reimagining, back to basics. Then how do I want to make those basics really work for me? And that's kind of where we are right now.
I love that so much. And for the listeners, for those of you who don't know, Jenn is also the owner and founder of Spray Specs, the only strictly sunless professional PPP protective eyewear for sunless artists. Can you tell me a little bit about the birth of Spray Specs for you? How did you come about this?
I came about that because one day I woke up looking like Shrek and I was like, what is happening? I had a really crazy, it's way better now, but I had what would look like a sty, but it doesn't sit on the lash line. It sits up high. It's basically a clogged pore. But you can try heat compresses and all of the things forever. It took me 2 years to get it to finally be calm. It's still there, but you can't really see it. So I'm okay with that.
Right.
So I don't want to have surgery on my eye. But it was either have surgery on your eye or try all these home remedies and find a way to protect your eyes moving forward. And I was like, I think I'll do that. I think I'll figure out, what would work. And I started playing with safety glasses. And then I was like, oh my God, we should have been doing this all along. We didn't know.
Yeah.
So I just decided to go for it.
I was just singing your praises and Spray Specs praises yesterday. Someone in a Facebook group was like, I think I'm allergic to the solution. My eyes are all irritated. And there are a few people in the comments too, girl, you got to get some Spray Specs. Yeah, because it's not a problem until it is. And then it's shit. So better to get ahead of it. And
it's not a problem that I have found that was easy to get rid of. Unless you're okay with a lot of surgical methods. Some people are. That's cool for them. For me, I'm very wary about that. And
Right.
it is a stubborn issue to have. And it makes sense because even we have great extraction systems, right? And there's so many new ones now that are awesome, but you're still getting all that overspray, all that powder, everything is in the air. It makes sense that it would get into your eyes. And I remember thinking like, sometimes I do 20, 25 tans in a day. I don't do that anymore unless it's this special kind of thing. But when I was in studio, like, God, my eyes are so irritated. I literally never put it together. I was like, that's so weird. And then I would just go on
Yep.
with my life. Strange. Until I realized like, oh my God, I look insane. And so that was how that was born.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
absolutely. I mean, when you're younger too, you just feel so resilient, like nothing really affects you. And as you age in this industry, you start like picking apart, wait a minute, like now every time I get sick, my cough is horrible to get over. If you're not protecting yourself, let this be a testament, guys. Start wearing protective equipment while you spray. Again, we do not have long-term research on any of the effects of spray tanning. So mask, protective eyewear. Now there was legislation that was just passed that we need to be allowing our clients to have the nose plugs. I would even recommend wearing a nose plug and a mask for yourself too while you're spraying.
That's what our girls do. They actually really love the little mesh nose plugs. So they wear them all
Yep.
the time and they completely love them. It made
Yep.
me think, Steph, when you were talking, you remember one of the things, you guys did a post about like the cringe things in the industry and whatever. I remember now thinking back 18 years ago where people are like, well, we're just like the test dummies and we're just doing it. I'm like, that's so bad because the repercussions of that could be terrible. Like last year I developed, because we have our own solution line that's just in-house. I don't sell to the public. That was like never really a goal for me, or something I wanted to get into. But I wanted to have a product for our girls that I knew was consistent, that we were going to really be in love with. And so I made a cleaner formula without the dyes last year because I had a cancer scare. And I was thinking, why is this happening to me? So I went into anything that could cause a hormonal imbalance. And that made me think, God, all these years we've been doing all of these things, not really worried about the repercussions, but you really don't know what those could be. So I would definitely agree with you. Like, protect yourself as much as you can, just like any trade. I feel like nail techs need to do the same thing, especially
Absolutely.
with specs and masks, please. So yeah.
Our hair girls too. I mean, every time I go into a salon and just smell the chemicals, I'm like, y'all just in here in this all day?
Isn't it crazy how we're desensitized to that and we don't think things that are a big deal are a big deal?
Yeah. Absolutely agree.
I think conversations like this are so important. I really give you guys so much credit for like putting yourselves out there and getting this started, because there hasn't been anything for all of these years, like a resource that people can trust and say, okay, I'm going to go get new information from these people who are getting it from everybody. So kudos to you for that.
Thank you, love. We take such pride in just trying to, provide everyone with just a space for us, because there really wasn't too many. So we love it. We love doing this. We love chit chatting with you guys and yapping all day. Jeez.
So that being said, you just opened a new salon in the West Loop in Chicago. Is that correct?
Actually, it's in the Gold Coast.
Okay, I know. I try to know about Chicago, but
oh my God,
yes, Gold Coast.
Steph, you know the Gold Coast, right?
Yes, absolutely. Oh my God, location.
Oh
Yes, sis.
It was so hilarious because I was there. So we partnered with a skincare studio, and so we utilize space and we work with them. The partner was Oprah's makeup artist for like 20 years, and she's French and she's fantastic. I'm obsessed with her so much.
Yes, queen.
So I went over there it's the most beautiful street ever. You're next to every amazing store ever. Gucci, Tom Ford, Chloe, all these stores. Not that I go there, but I can appreciate them. So I'm happy to be their neighbor. And I remember filming and being like, I was homeless when I was a teenager for most of my high school years, living in like Red Roof Inn and the Motel 6, not nice places. And I was walking around thinking, damn, we have come a long way from the Red Roof Inn, honey. We are next to Tom Ford. I don't care if I don't have anything.
Yes, queen.
There, in the building. So it's really, really special.
I love that so much for you. Oh my God. That's like a true Cinderella story, just to see what you've built with your empire. touching on your teenage homelessness, you and I have had this conversation in the DMs, and I would love for you to chat a little bit more about this on this podcast, because I definitely think it's something we need to bring awareness to.
Yeah.
We were talking about icks in the industry, and Jenn mentioned, I really hate that when we tell clients to wear a certain thing after a spray tan, we have to stop saying, like, you got to look homeless. The more homeless you look, the better it is for your tan.
Mm.
I was so taken aback by that because I was like, holy shit. Why the fuck do we say that?
I don't know, because if we're, the world is really aware of like social issues now, it's like, well, we just forgot about that one, because it felt like, to me, every time I hear it, and clients even say it too, and I love them to death. So if they're listening, I love you to death. And I know you don't actually mean it, which is why we're talking about it. But they'll be like,
right.
oh my God, I look homeless. I look terrible. And I'm thinking, well, all I was trying to do when I was homeless and I was wearing my friends' clothes that were like, wait, I'm a very small person. I'm like literally miniature. So any of my friends' clothes that I was borrowing, because I didn't have clothes for a long time, all of our belongings got seized. We didn't have like I had whatever I wore that day, which is like the worst outfit ever. So I would borrow clothes from friends and be in big baggy clothes and still try to talk myself into like feeling confident, feeling good, putting my best foot forward, feeling like I belonged or like I wasn't an outsider or weird or whatever. And I was also keeping that part of my life a secret. I was in high school, so you don't know how to really navigate those conversations, nor do you, I don't think, as a teenager, want to talk about that.
Of course.
Probably different now, but I remember like I didn't want anyone to know that. And so when I was trying to like put my best face forward, now hearing that, and I hear it often, it's like, you don't know what people are going through. You really don't. And it's like, it's a privilege to have a home. It's a privilege to have a safe space. Not everybody has that. So I remember getting ready in it was 4 of us that lived in a 1-bedroom, not apartment, a motel room. So it was like 2 double beds, my mom, my little brother, me and my other brother. And that was how that was. So yeah, you just never know what people are going through. So it is important to be mindful. If we're like being mindful of things, that would be really awesome to not say that.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, and you don't know what you don't know. So the fact that you brought that up and literally changed my perspective on something that I've been guilty of saying for so long in the industry too. It's like, it really makes you check your fucking privilege, honestly. And I do think, back to the beginning of the episode, what we said, when you have new information, it's okay to make that change. And that's so important to do. So thank you for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
Holy shit. Like, it's definitely something we need to make a change in the industry.
Yeah, because our job is to build people up and make people feel their most confident. And if you're judging someone based on, something that you think is frivolous, that's kind of not that. So
yeah, no, absolutely. I completely agree. Moving on to a service that you provide that absolutely wowed the fuck out of us. We can't stop talking about it, honestly. Tell us about your Salons car service.
Our black car service. So that's been one of our favorite activations. It's actually the brainchild of my boyfriend, Shane. He was like, winter in Chicago gets gross. The weather's just kind of gross. We had a decent one this year, but it gets really gross. We didn't want to give anyone an excuse not to be able to come in. We wanted them to have an experience that felt really luxury, really different, and really special. So we're like, let's launch a car service where we literally will pick you up at your house. We made it a 3-mile radius so that we could manage our time pretty well and not have too many conflicting schedules. And it really has been the most amazing thing to bring like really excited energy into the salon. People are like, this is so fun. I mean, he gets out and opens the door for them, and it's, a beautiful Audi, and they love the experience. And then from that came, us interviewing some of our people and being like, all of our clients are amazing. They're doing really cool stuff. They have really cool stories. So it's been this really organic offering that we didn't know was going to be like absolutely insanely amazing and special, but it's like blown our minds. We love it so much.
That's such a good point. Is like people probably come in. I know I did when I got out of the car. I'm like, I walk in. I'm like, oh my god, it is such an exciting. Like, it
Yeah.
probably brings like such good energy. And maybe someone was having like a shit day, and then just having like that touch of like added luxury, and you feel so special and catered to. That really is incredible.
I think that's what we're all trying to do, right? Is to make our clients really feel special. That's how when I always think of like, how do we set ourselves apart from anybody? I only look at what we're doing. I'm like, how can we make our service so absolutely like impressive that all they can do is not stop thinking about us? It's not like me, how I'm interacting with anyone else or what anyone else is doing. It's absolutely the opposite of that. It's like, how can we continually raise the bar and make people feel so special and so cared for? And they really have resonated with that. They really do love it. So
I loved it. It really
was
is so
incredible.
incredible.
I'm glad you liked it.
And when I was in the car, Shane told me a stat about how successful has it been. What was your retention rate, or God, it was for the month of January. He said your bookings were up like 100% or something
They
like
were
that.
up
What
100%.
is that?
It's so amazing because he's the numbers guy. So he'll watch all the changes of the numbers. Tell me, babe. 108. He says 108.
There you
Hey,
go.
Shane. Hey, bud.
he's like sign language to me. Yeah, he said 108. So he watches all the numbers. He follows all the trends year to year, and it's been really, really interesting to see how that's changed our business. Like 108% doesn't lie,
100 and January,
Mm-hmm.
arguably
And
the
January
slowest.
in Chicago's awful.
Yeah.
They don't go anywhere.
It's usually our worst month of the year. So it was so amazing to not feel like we're surviving January. Yeah. We're actually super used to the seasonality of the business. So in reality, nothing's shocking because we know what's coming. Even post-COVID, now we have trends again that we didn't have for a minute. But it's been amazing to see what that's done for our business. People love it. They're so sweet. They're so generous. We don't charge for it. It's just a complimentary service that we've added in, but it has paid for itself. So
totally.
Yep.
Yeah.
God, that really is so incredible. Like I said, arguably the slowest month of the year, probably across the board in the sunless industry, and bookings were up 108%. So
do you know what they were for February?
It was overall from now, it's like 56% on the year.
56% on the year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's incredible.
So for everyone listening, take note.
Mm-hmm.
Think outside the box.
Think outside the box. Like, how can you do anything different? Or the best piece of advice that I visited last year in my mind, I remember where I heard it, a podcast, something, was, what were you doing in your business when you first started that you might be able to reinvent, repurpose, recycle, or just start up again that could like energize your business? And for us, it was like pop-ups. Okay, that's how I started. I would do pop-ups everywhere. Yep. I was everywhere. And now we turn those pop-ups into partnerships. So it's pretty amazing. Just going back to the basics, like, what did I do that I'm not doing as much anymore? So there's a lot of information.
I love a pop-up.
I love a pop-up.
Such a good way to just get your business name out there and network with new people, get in front of a new audience that you would have otherwise not had exposure to. It's so smart to just continue to do these even as you grow and you have your own salon, your own storefront, all of that. It's like sometimes you got to go back to the basics. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of when you were first starting out, what's something you wish you knew when you were first starting out?
Something I wish I knew when I first started out. That everyone's path can look different. There really isn't any competition. There really isn't, because no one's going to do things the way I do it, or the way you do it, or the way you do it. You're your own secret sauce. So that's always been helpful for me to like remind myself of that. I don't have to do anything like anyone else does. And I never have. And it serves me really well. I'm like my own flavor of weird. So I have to honor that because that's like a gift that was given to me. And so it's like to really try to stay in my lane. I don't scroll and try to look at what everyone else is doing. I find it really distracting. So before the age I started my business, there wasn't Instagram or Uber. So, or Facebook. there was MySpace. So
Yes.
Slay.
so you didn't have the ability to do that or look outside that. So you didn't know what you didn't know, which I found helpful. So I would tell people now, overconsumption of content in any form also can be harmful. So it's like laser focus into what
Yes.
makes you special, what you love, what you want to do. You can always kind of have a pulse of what's going on. You want to know what's going on in the industry, but anytime you sit and scroll and look at what everyone else is doing, you'll probably find at the end of the day, you just freeze because your mind is not meant to intake that much information. Our bodies are not meant
Yes.
for that. So it's overstimulation. And then you get into that cycle. I hear it from people all the time because I DM all of our sunless girlies. We're always DMing. And it's like they're freaking out. And I'm like, honey, put your phone down. Put a pen and paper if you need to. I love old school pen and paper. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Everyone's not you, and every market is so different. So what would work in Chicago is not going to necessarily work in a smaller market. You never know. You really have to like know your own, market. So I think that would be helpful for people to remember.
That's such an important tip. For those of you who don't know, I went to art school many, many ages ago. I've lived several different lives already. But I'm a creative at my core. And a rule that I have for myself is try your hardest to create more than you consume. And that just goes to like, we are over consuming so much content, so much information. Of course, at the end of the day, we're experiencing functional freeze. No one can really take in that much. So give yourself maybe a couple of days out of the week where you work on your social media and you tap in with your audience base, but have a couple days of the week where you're not consuming anything. You're focused on creating for yourself, for your business. And I even think it's healthy to create things that you don't necessarily make money off of. Like, do it for the fucking joy of it. Do it because it makes you happy. Like,
I'm here.
Make some jewelry or some shit.
I'm here doing this pop-up. I'm not making any money. I'm donating it all to my friend because I have the ability to help in that way. And that makes me feel really good. So not everything has to have this dollar amount tied to it because the abundance from things like that come in way different forms in all kinds of ways.
Totally agree. Yep, absolutely. I love it. It's such an important conversation to have in the industry. Just the way we've seen marketing shift, it's important to remember sometimes you have to unplug.
Yep, for sure. If you have to move into a van, I support you. Whatever your heart needs.
That's actually sounding really nice right about now.
It's not been bad. We finally got, when I first started doing the van life, which was like, I built it 2020 and part of 2021. So it was like 2021. They didn't really have Starlink. Now we have Starlink. I'm like, you can't tell me anything. I am so fancy. I don't
literally.
Because you can just pop it out anywhere. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
so cool.
Was it, so with multiple locations now, was it always your plan to scale or did that happen organically?
It was actually always my plan. And it's funny because I did a post about it yesterday. Just like when I started, I was 26 and I was like super ambitious. I'm still ambitious. I think that's just how I am in nature. But I always wanted to grow into other markets. I always wanted to travel. I always felt like that was kind of like a doorway into that because going back to the childhood story, when you start out without that home base, it can be good in a way because you don't have anything to lose. So in that way, it's always actually been reverse helpful for me because I'm like, well, what's the worst that can happen? I end up homeless. That's fine. I've already done that. No problem.
Yeah, literally.
It's not I want to do, but it's definitely I'm able to do it if I need to. So it's helped me take more risks, which has been, it's served me really well. They've been calculated risks, but yeah, it's served me well.
Absolutely.
You are an Aquarian through and through.
I know.
I am like,
I know.
that air sign energy.
I loved our text when we were I was like, hi, I text you back in my mind. So that all happened. But I have not texted you. She's like, it's just two Aquarians trying to connect, I was like, thank you for seeing me.
My girls.
I literally have to like write down like text so-and-so back. So I am like,
I have a running
I don't know what
on my phone with like checklists every day of what I'm trying to accomplish.
You have to.
Oh my God, same. It's the
All
only way.
right. So I actually have a question because you have this empire that you've just built. What kind of training do you put your artists through to
Mm,
make sure that you are providing a consistent, top notch experience? I imagine you have to let go of the reins a little bit so that you can experience growth. How the fuck do you do it?
Well, one of the things that I've found that's worked really well is consistent training. So my girls know that your training's never done. But if we go from a beginner, say someone starts with us from the beginning, if they've never worked in a salon, even if they have to start at the front and they have to learn the whole experience from the customer's point of view before I'm going to have them start spraying. Because I think it's counterintuitive for them to start spraying and not really know how that customer's experience needs to flow. So they start
Right.
there. When they start there, it's really cool because they learn everything, all of the FAQs and everything they need to know about tanning. They're learning as they go. So then when we slide them into tanner training, they're really well equipped to know all the questions they need to ask, know kind of what can go wrong and right, and they know how to troubleshoot and problem solve. When they start with us, we have a manual. It's probably 35 pages of a guide of all the basic things that we teach. So everything they need to know about sunless, posing sequences, the color theory, all the things. So they practice that. They kind of really memorize all that before they start their training. And then we do a 2-day, 8-hour training each day. And they literally we'll go through the manual so they know the theory, all of that stuff. Poses, we test them out on that. And then they just do models to really get that muscle memory. One thing that I've really learned lately that I love and we've incorporated into our training that I wasn't necessarily doing before was literally just technique training on like how to loosen your wrist. You know, when people start and they're
Oh,
like,
smart.
and I'm like, that's going to look really static. So now we do a lot of like drills. We'll do a lot of like
Love it.
muscle memory drills before we get to the paper, before we try that. And then they have to do 25 models to even be able to test out to try to work on the floor. So they'll do 25 models after their training, and then they can come to us and say, hey, I want to try to test out to see if I can take paying clients. Then they'll tan all of our staff so that we can kind of see how their tans are looking, how they're lasting, and let them know if they're ready to go onto the floor. Typically, by that time, they've done about 30 tans. They're in good shape to get out there, start taking paying clients where there won't be big issues. One of the things that I think gets in the way of a lot of people when they start is they don't want to ever make any mistakes. But we want to make manageable mistakes. So mistakes are going to happen. When you do volume, it is what it is. That comes with the territory. So we want to make sure those mistakes aren't going to be big ones and that they're really easy fixes. And then the more reps they do, it's just like any other sport or trade. The more reps they do, the better they're going to get. Then we do continual training. We do FaceTimes. I'll watch them on FaceTime if they're out of state. We really always keep training. And then all of the girls tan with each other every week so they can give each other feedback. If there's anything, that's how we catch it before it goes to a client.
So smart.
Yeah. That is so incredible and thorough. And I think something salon owners can really take note of. Piggybacking off of that, something like a conversation I always see is salon owners wondering like, or individual spray tan artists wondering like, how do you know when it's a good time to hire another employee? Like, what was your like first steps when hiring like your first employee under you?
Really, it was when I got to capacity where I couldn't do any more. In the time that I had in the day, I was doing 25 tans a day, and it was like once I got to the point where I'm like, I can't do any more physically. Like I won't be able to sleep. I won't be able to keep up. It was probably for me 2 years in at the time, again, because we didn't have online marketing. We didn't have anything. Everything was word of mouth. So it was 2 years of that before I hired my first person. And then now we probably have 10 or 12 in Chicago. And then all the other locations, have their teams as well.
Incredible. And all your girls are angels, your entire team.
Truly.
You like handpicked just the best team. Everyone's so sweet.
That made me think of one piece of advice for people when they're bringing team members on or when team members are leaving is like allow those transitions to happen because they always are for your greater good. So, when you have that star employee and you're like, I can't live without you, you can. You can. And the great thing is the next person that comes is going to be an even better fit because you're a better fit, because you're learning and you're getting better. So every person that you bring in because of the way that you are will be a better fit. So that is
Yes.
something that I really think I struggled with for a long time. It's like you finally find your staff and everything's great and you're like, oh, I can relax. Not really. So just get used to that
Yep.
either with you for a season or a reason or for years or for a short amount of time. And there's always, a purpose to it. And if you can detach from it, which is not easy, I say it like it's not easy to do, but when you can do it, it really does elevate your business because nothing is forever, and that's how it should be. We should bless people for however long we get to work together. And then sometimes those people come back around years later. You never know.
Yeah.
That is such good advice. I feel like people kind of go about like hiring employees and maintaining employees from like a scarcity mindset where it's like, I want to hire someone, but I don't want to invest all this time and then have them leave and then have them be my competition or whatever. And it's like, like you said, you just got to detach from that. Like you just got to let whatever's going to happen, put in, the effort for what you want for your business. And then everything else will kind of just run its course.
So. I know so many business owners that struggle with that still, and I get it because I have in the past. And it's like, it's the most freeing thing when you can just allow it to be what it is, appreciate it for however long it is, and not judge yourself, not think that you failed because somebody left. People's lives go in all different directions at all times. So it's usually not about us. Like it's about that person and what's going on in their life and what's best for them. And that's really it. And versus having that emotional tie to it that nothing can change and I have to have it this way, you're just going to really like not enjoy your day ever if you think that way.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that
true.
goes for business. That goes for personal relationships. That goes for
it truly.
It's the gift that keeps on giving, girls.
The gift that keeps on giving.
You're really speaking to me right now. Like, I'm like, yes, you're right.
It's true.
It's not about me.
And it's so hard because we always are used to personalize, especially as women, like personalizing things, making things personal. That's something I have to work on all the time. Luckily, I have 3 brothers who are like, shut up, you're not that special. I'm like, oh, but they're better at not taking things personal than we are.
Yeah.
It's not personal. It is business. I remember shifting from that mindset of like, the business is a family. You're not my family. Okay. Because someone will talk to their mama the way they should not talk to me, honey. Okay. So I remember when I first started doing blowouts, it was a very like entry level job in the industry, right? It's like the girls get out of Cosmo school. It's one of the first things they can do while they're honing their skills. So all of my girls were like 18, like very young. And I literally felt like I was their mama to all of them until I realized I am not their mama. They have a mama. No. These boundaries need to be clear, not sticky, really healthy for all of us to function well. And I know that a lot of people listening might be entering that spot, still in that spot. They have that spot upcoming. Your business is a business. You're in business to make a living first.
Yeah.
Everyone has to make a living. That's how we survive. So shifting that mindset has been really helpful to me. I'm not your friend, but I hope to be the most friendly person ever to you. But I'm also not your friend. I'm here to like lead a company and to lead a business to help you make money and to help myself make money. So it's just something good to remember, I think.
Absolutely.
I love that. It really, I think that is, the whole detachment of it all is something that we as women, like not to, generalize, but it really is. It's something like women in business can really benefit them. When you just like learn to detach and let go, then I don't know. I think that's when things work out.
When you finally realize it's business, it's not personal.
Yep. And that's a hard one. So also if you're in that, don't judge yourself. It's hard. We've all been there. We're all figuring it out every day, all the time.
Yeah, we're human. I mean, these emotions are so natural. I've definitely been guilty of that where I'll cry sometimes and Aspen will have to talk me off the ledge like, babe, it's business. It has nothing to do with you. We have to get over that hump. I'm like, I know, but it's hard.
I used to go cry in the basement even when I would get overstimulated. There's all these people all the time. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to freak out. So I would go cry in the basement. And then I would let people know I'm going to just go quickly move that energy.
Go for a cry.
See you later. If you want to go cry in the basement, have a ball. I don't mind.
Right. Just a quick cry. I'll be right back, guys. Nobody worry.
Cleansing.
I
love
cannot.
that.
That's hilarious. Well, Jen, it's always such
I
a
know.
fucking pleasure. We are so happy we got to chat on the podcast finally. So excited. I know we're going to have many, many more chats in the future. We absolutely loved hosting our event at your space. Thank you for being so gracious and for contributing to such an amazing cause, our Made for Melanin Foundation. The girls still cannot stop talking about the space, by the way. They were like, oh my God, this was incredible.
It
Yay.
is so cool. It is the
Thanks. I loved hearing
coolest.
that. And thank you guys for
I
working
love
with us. We love that. We were like, absolutely. Yes.
You're such an
Of
angel.
course. All right,
So
my love. Well, we will not keep you any longer. We know you have a Tanathon to attend.
I
So
do.
thank you for being a part of this episode.
Of course.
real quick, let everyone know where they can find you on Instagram, websites, whatever.
Yes, thank you.
Shout
Website is
everything out.
glowOutSalon.com. Instagram is at glowOutSalons or at Jenn Dieas and an underscore at the end.
Gorgeous.
Perfect.
Yep.
Gorge.
Okay,
And we
love
will link and tag Spray Specs, Glow Out, all the things.
Thank you.
But we love you, Jen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, girls.
You're so incredible. Thank you for everything.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your convo. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Thank you.
Such good gems. Oh my God.
Really, truly. I just love her mindset about everything too. Like, truly was like
So healthy and refreshing.
I'm like speaking to me. I'm like, yeah, those thoughts are in my head, but to hear someone else say them, like,
Yes.
so validating.
Yep, absolutely. So we are going to dive right into the rest of our episode, guys. We are going to have a word from our sponsors.
Our friends at Unfiltered. For this week's Spray Tan Tips segment, we're discussing how to protect your tan from sweat, chlorine, and salt water using Unfiltered's Defy Platinum Sweat Defying Shield, which is a clear coat tan guard. This topic is brought to you by Unfiltered Solutions. Thank you, Unfiltered, for sponsoring yet again for season 5.
Shout out Unfiltered.
Miss Carla Clark. Her goal when creating Unfiltered was to create products with the most beautifully blended bronzers that last long and fade evenly. They are a Texas-based professional sunless solution company that offers a range of high-quality, dark rapids and overnight professional solutions, skincare, and at-home self-tanning mousses, as well as white label opportunities for spray tans professionals. What truly sets Unfiltered apart is the ethically sourced DHA they formulate all on their own, and white label products that they make right here in the US. I am so excited to talk about this topic. The key to protecting spray tans from chlorine, salt water, and sweat is with a shield. Unfiltered's Defy Platinum Sweat Defying Shield is designed to be sprayed over an unfiltered tan after the tan application to protect the tan and make for a smoother fade. It is ideal for athletes, brides, and active clients. Here's how to use it. Using your preferred unfiltered spray tan solution, evenly apply the base tan. After the base tan application, use your spray gun to lightly mist approximately 1 ounce of Defy Platinum over the entire body. So spray tan as usual, rinse your gun out. If you have another gun, use the 1 ounce of Defy Platinum, spray over the entire body. So it's basically like a seal. We've been talking about a lot of, tan sealants.
Yep.
Afterwards. So this one is specifically designed to protect against chlorine, salt water, sweat, for brides who really need a long lasting tan. So, especially with the warmer months coming up, this is something to definitely include as an add-on in your business. And as you may know, Unfiltered is gluten-free, paraben-free, vegan-friendly, cruelty-free, and eco-certified professional and eco-certified DHA. Professionals can shop Unfiltered at wholesale prices directly on unfilteredtan.com, and to be sure to follow them along at Unfiltered Sunless on Instagram and use code GLOWTFUP for 10% off. This is such a great product that they have. I know like we
Yep.
said, we've been talking about so many the tan sealants, and
Hmm.
the purpose of this one I think just really targets so many problem areas. So
Right.
great add-on.
And I think it's so important to mention, like, we have these post sprays from different tanning lines across the industry. However, each respective post spray was designed to work efficiently with all of the ingredients in their respective solutions. So this is going to pair well with all of unfiltered solutions versus, a post spray from a different company. Like, these chemists formulate these things to ensure that their spray tan is going to be flawless with this post spray. So I don't think you can have enough post spray.
Agreed. Absolutely.
I'm like, buy them all, bitches. Like, be sure that you are doing your due diligence and making sure that these post sprays are working efficiently with the ingredients in your respective spray tan solutions. Um, yeah, buy them all.
Love.
We have some sunless news and some new things in the industry too. This one I definitely wanted to touch on. I don't know if you've heard about this, Kels. The FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, they're fucking coming for everybody right now. I'm
I
like, holy shit, what is going on?
Yeah, I have gotten an email from Lovington about this topic because I have
Wow.
some sponsored, just basically like clarifying like what to include at the bottom of sponsored articles
Okay.
and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
So, for those of you who don't know, the Federal Trade Commission, they're essentially cleaning house and they're coming after multiple brands for undisclosed influencer deals. So they're essentially accusing them of misleading consumers by having their influencers not necessarily disclose that it's a hashtag paid ad or hashtag paid partnership when they're receiving example free product or they're actually getting paid to post. So the FTC is actually, there's a huge lawsuit on multiple brands across the spectrum. I mean, clothing brands, beauty brands, they're really cracking down, and it looks like there's some real like regulatory scrutiny of influencer marketing in general right
mhm,
now at this moment, which it's crazy because we talked about this for our Coachella episode.
mhm.
There's a shift in the industry right now. Influencer marketing is no longer like this gray area that companies can use. It's becoming like a concrete legal risk now if you're not using the appropriate outlets or tagging the right things, hashtagging the right things. I definitely think a lot more companies are going to be like more wary about working with influencers going forward, or they're going to start really micromanaging how influencers post for them.
Yeah, I know over in the UK they are a lot stricter about like like how you need to disclose for sponsored Instagram posts. So I can see us kind of adapting that same format. Like it has to say, like within like copy on like the actual post in the caption, whatnot. I can kind of see us moving in that direction so things are more blatant. The email that I got from Lovington, because I have a partnership with them, just I have like an affiliate link, and they like make sure where it said like you have to at the beginning and end of the article, like it has to say like this is a sponsored post.
Yeah,
So yeah, I can really see us kind of moving in that direction, which is fair because you know
absolutely.
there's I mean I don't even need to say it. Consumers have, like they are influenced by these influencers, and sometimes you think that it's like an organic, like, oh, they really like have my best interest in mind and they love these products, they want me to use these products, and that's not necessarily the case. A lot of it's, everything's kind of run by dollar signs. So yeah, I appreciate the transparency. I
I
would
do
like to
too.
see us
I
move
think
in that
that this is a
direction.
good, definitely a good move. Yeah, I mean, just thinking as like a consumer, if I see someone that I admire that's like, oh my God, you guys, this product, you have to get it. I'm like, okay, maybe I really do need this.
Mm-hmm.
However, if I do see that it is a paid ad, I'm kind of like, let me do a little more research on the product before I
Oh,
just buy it. So this is
absolutely.
totally warranted. It definitely is misleading for sure. And I definitely think that it can teeter on the side of like dangerous because we
Mm-hmm.
have influencers toting all kind of shit right now, just pushing it online. So I think that this is warranted, and I definitely am interested to see the shift that we are going to make because I really see us moving away from influencer marketing in general.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to like I definitely think we'll be going the more like content UGC creator route rather
Right.
than like paying like offering free products, and I can see that being needing to be disclosed versus like these big multi-million dollar contract deals, which I'm all for it because I mean, I don't, that's a whole other conversation, but like,
Yeah.
I support, the masses, and
Being
the,
informed at the very
yeah,
least. Hmm.
rather, yeah. So that's that. I was about to go on a rabbit hole tangent
I was
about
ready
like,
for it. I was
no,
like,
and I'm
oh,
like,
what's hitting?
I'm like, no, about just like how egregious these like big influencer contracts are, and
Yeah.
like, and then even the celebrities and how much like they get paid per different campaigns and whatnot. And I'm like, and then you have like the smaller content. There's like no middle, just kind of, like kind of how the world is right now, where it's like there's no middle, there's no middle
There's no middle
ground.
class.
Yeah, there's no middle class, there's no middle ground. So but yeah, that was like a whole rabbit hole I was going to go on. But I say all that to say is I would love to see us go more in like the content creator UGC route, and like working that way. And plus too, it's way more beneficial for like the smaller brands. The smaller brands, like there's so many smaller brands that have just like amazing fucking product that can compete with like. I love Tarte. I love Marie and Kelly, but I like the Tartes of
We
it
don't
all,
have those
and like
budgets at all to
yeah,
compete. And
and
it
so
is an
it's
unfair playing
yeah.
field for
So
sure.
yeah. So if we can go in like the using UGC and maybe giving like a little kickback, but just like still like like having like the disclaimer that it is a paid or they make a profit or whatever off of the post, I feel like that kind of gives more visibility to these smaller brands and they stand more of a chance than the big ones. But I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
No, I mean, I agree with you 1,000%. I think for me that there's been a disconnect with influencer marketing the last few years. Another recession indicator. I think for me personally, I am sick of these like crazy displays of just fucking wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And we are seeing these influencers being gifted free shit left and right. I mean, you have the big giveaways of people that are like, here's the PR that I've collected the last year. And it's just like mountains worth of shit.
It's sick.
And I think I would prefer to see companies give back. And I feel like that marketing would just be so much more meaningful and do so much more good in the world than provide the select few influencers with all of this free shit that they really don't need. They're making tons of money from just
Right.
being influencers in general. Yeah, I think we need to see more do good marketing and gifting versus the extreme displays of wealth. The public is starting to move away from
It's so
just
icky.
with
It's
everything
like
that's happening. We're like, dude, what the fuck?
everyone is struggling financially right now. I'm hopeful that it can, maybe there will be an uptick and an upswing and that we can all hope for. But like, I just so even like the fucking Katy Perry and the fucking rocket ship this week and what like that, and I'm like, how out of touch are you? Like,
Yeah.
I just don't understand. Like, so yeah.
Yep.
That's that.
So I am very interested to see where brands are going to shift. My hope, I'm praying that it is towards do good marketing. I want to see these people with micro followings really benefit and start creating UGC content for brands, I think that's like an incredible partnership. Because I feel like you're more likely to see someone actually using the product and believe in the product than someone getting paid to be like, buy this, yada, yada, yada,
Yeah.
So we will see how, the industry moves in that direction. But that is what's going on with the Federal Trade Commission. So if you are a brand that has influencers and you are paying for influencer marketing, just keep this in mind. They're cleaning house. So just make sure you are kind of updating your influencers and so on and so forth. All right. What else is new?
We got some new products, it looks like, coming our way.
Yes. So our other sponsors, Nuda, they are currently doing their next campaign shoot for a new product. They've been teasing on their socials. We don't quite know exactly what it is. Obviously, we'll release more details the second we have them, but they have been deep in the thick of their campaign shoot, and I'm loving all of the teasers of the outfits that they have for their models, the new products that are coming out. I love a little BTS moment from a campaign shoot. It's my vibe. I feel like I'm really getting like I'm an insider, right? Like it's so smart to kind of give those BTSs for your followers. So we will let you guys know the second we have any more information on the new products coming from Nudaland. But in the meantime, we do have some teasers as well for new drops from Altsun. I know you bitches been waiting.
I don't even know.
I know you bitches have been waiting. So yes, Instagram, there are some teasers on IG. There will be a drop in the next few weeks. Stay tuned. Make sure you're signed up for email blasts. And yeah, I'll keep you posted. And we will give you guys details as soon as the public has more details.
Love.
You might be getting an exclusive on the Glow the Fuck Up podcast on all the new drops from Altsunland. So be sure to tune the fuck in. All right, trending.
I have been seeing the discussion about trusted educators and how to find a trusted educator, what they should be offering, and kind of just wanted to touch base on this. I feel like everyone's kind of an educator right now, which I'm not knocking the hustle. It's a great way to make extra cash flow, but I do think that there need to be standards in place for being an educator. I personally think that you should be educated in being an educator. You should go through like a training or like a course to learn how to be an educator. I know Spray Tan Class has one. I'm not sure what other education platforms do. But I think just like a few rules of thumbs and things that like people are looking for: have a trusted website, have, your classes laid out. For beginners, I don't think it's sufficient to just take an online course. I think that, hands-on training, like a full day of hands-on training is, sufficient, but sometimes that's not even, what I mean? Like maybe like follow-up trainings, like just like if they're saying the trainer is like, 2 to 3 hours, like, yeah, that's fine. But I don't know. Like, I feel like that is not sufficient to take that walk away, go out and then like spray a complete stranger. And yeah. I mean, I love online courses for like, if you're already like a seasoned spray tan artist and, you like maybe learning how to contour. I still think that like it would be more beneficial to do in person, but something like that, like these like add-on courses, for online add-on courses make sense. But, yeah, I have on the tanbible.com in our Sunless Educator category, you can find different in-person spray tan classes through there, as well as the online courses. And they are kind of everyone on there is trusted, vetted, few different regions around the US and Canada. But yeah, what do you think makes like a a good educator and like what people should look for when if looking to either get into like learning how to spray tan or just like an add-on course? Oh God.
Um, no, I want to make sure that I'm able to verbalize this without necessarily like coming for the newer artists that are providing these trainings, because I don't want to knock the hustle at all. Again, like you said, it's a great way to make more money. I definitely feel if you have not been consistently spray tanning or running a successful business for 5 years, anything under 5 years, you're still in your learning curve. I've discussed this on a Facebook forum myself when someone had asked, when do you really start feeling comfortable? Like, when do you feel like you are actually ready as a spray tan artist to, provide services and feel confident in your craft? I'm very transparent with people that I try to help out. I feel that it took years for me to feel really comfortable, not because of actual spray tanning. The act of spray tanning itself is very simple, guys. We know this. However, it is what to do when issues arise that really makes a great artist, right? So you have to learn how to troubleshoot anything that can happen after the spray tan has developed. I think you learn how to navigate these things with time. Honestly, I don't think that you should be spray tanning for 1 year and then being like, well, I'm an educator. And, I just think that you should give yourself time to learn a little more about the art, the craft, the issues that can arise before charging people for like certifications. On that note, I do want to add there's always a lot of questions online like, okay, how do I become like a triple master certified artist? Or, what does it mean when someone is a master certified spray tan artist? And I do want to add that that does not exist. You can take multiple classes and certification courses. And continuing education is amazing. I do think we need to continue to take these courses. However, there is no federally or internationally regulated body over our industry. Therefore, claiming any sort of like master certified, whatever, that's just not like a real thing. So I think when people use this term, it's based off of, how many continuing education courses they've taken to learn how to spray tan. But don't fret if, you're not a master certified. There is no governing body over it. So what I'm trying to say is that's not a real title. It's great for marketing. I love it because if I'm a consumer and I see it, I'm like, "Ooh, she's master certified." What that mean? Like, but again, it's not. There is no governing body over us. So just be mindful again of, I suppose, titles and yeah.
Love.
But I do think that that's such a good thing to point out because so many people are. We've seen so many complaints too. Like I got certified by redacted name and I just feel like I didn't learn X, Y, and Z. And, you guys are investing a lot of money on these certification courses. And I can imagine that must be such a letdown to realize that there was so much that was left out of the actual certification course. So like Kelsey said, do your due diligence, do your research before you hand over thousands of dollars to someone who's been in the industry for a year.
Jenn just told us too everything that she all of the training that her employees go through. So that right there is like a good starting point. She has them spray tan 25 models before they're put on the floor. I think that is a great start that have, if you are just getting started, have a certain amount of models that you're spraying before you start charging for services, or charge like a beginner rate, like, hey, I'm learning how to charge whatever 10 $20 to pay for whatever
model fee or something.
Yeah, exactly, the solutions to cover that cost. But there's that. I think it's a big conversation. I'm interested to see, I don't know if like some of this industry will ever kind of be regulated, but I'm interested to see if it is and kind of how it would evolve from there. But
and we've asked our followers before on their thoughts on regulation. Overwhelmingly, so many artists are in favor of regulation for things like this specifically. It's going to get rid of, the scammer educators, because if we're a regulated body, then we need to have specific, dedicated, certified educators as well. And that will kind of hold us to a standard, and there will be less of a chance of getting scammed by someone that just claims like, oh, I'm a master certified educator, yada, yada, yada. There will be an actual standard to follow, and across the board, we will have just rules to follow, checks and balances. I mean, we need checks and balances for sure.
So there's that.
Yeah. I am going to dive into our Facebook story. Craziest shit I've read in a Facebook group. So I'm not sure how true this is. However, there was an artist that was like, I received this picture from my client. It looked flawless when she left, but when it developed, it looked like this. I'm not sure what is happening. She has like dots all over her body. And it's not like the standard, like, oh, she could have had a sunburn, or she has eczema, or it's something unlike I've ever seen before. It was very strange. As someone that has been dealing with like troubleshooting and like trying to figure out what the fuck happened for over 15 years, I've never seen anything like this. I was this is very, very different. And this girl responded, do you know if she's had strep throat recently? And I was like, what the fuck? So many other artists chimed in saying, I've seen this happen if someone gets like scarlet fever after a strep infection.
Scarlet fever?
I know. I feel like I'm on Oregon trails.
I didn't even know that was still around.
Yes, you can totally get fucking scarlet fever, dude. Like, it's a complication of streptococcus or whatever the fuck.
Not streptococcus. You just made that up. You 100% just made that up.
But yeah, plenty of artists were like, I've seen this happen when someone has scarlet fever. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Which is why this was the craziest shit I've read in a Facebook group this week.
Where are these people from? I've never. I really thought that like scarlet fever wasn't a thing anymore.
No, it's definitely a thing still.
Wow. The more you know.
The more you know. I need to send you this like random here, because this like looks. I've never seen anything like it. What the fuck? It's like it's pulling in dots. That's the tan developed too. It's wild.
Oh,
I know.
Wow. It looks like she got rained on. But
yeah.
It couldn't just be rain. It's scarlet fever.
No, but that's the tan fully developed. Post rinse, everything.
Oh wow.
What the fuck is that?
What the hell?
What the hell? What the hell, LeBron James?
Wow.
No, literally. So it's the fact that other artists chimed in and they were like, I've definitely seen this with scarlet fever before.
Wow. Talk about a seasoned spray tan artist. If you've seen scarlet fever, you have been around for a while. Oh my God. Also, I could just sound totally fucking ignorant and like scarlet fever may be a thing, but I don't know. Like I didn't know that it was. I associate it with Oregon Trail.
We're like, But you know, dysentery was like a huge killer on Oregon Trail. And this is probably going to be TMI, but you guys, I've definitely had dysentery after a trip to Cancun.
What the fuck were you doing?
Bitch. I ate fucking street tacos outside of a fucking drag club in Cancun.
Oh my God.
The story gets so much better because I had been drinking.
Did you
I had
do
been
the
drinking.
worm? Drink the worm from the tequila bottle?
Yes.
I had been really drinking.
Yeah, I've done that before. I've lived many lives, Kelsey. No, I had been drinking literally from the moment we woke up, guys, with my mother. And this was literally, we woke up, drank all day. We were at the pool. We were vibing out, yada, yada, yada. My mom's like, do you want to go see a drag show tonight? And I'm like, abso-fucking-lutely, Mom. We're raging. We go to the drag club. We keep drinking and we leave and we go to a taco cart that was outside of the drag club and we both got dysentery.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's not just Oregon Trails times. This is like a very real.
Whoever addressed that and answered the question and said, talked about the strep throat, they can be an educator. They have Kelsey Zimmerman's stamp of approval for being an educator, because if you know that, that's what can happen. You know your shit. You've been around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Get your bag,
and
sis.
Actually, okay, so I just pulled this up. Scarlet fever is actually a bacterial illness that develops in some that also have strep throat. And it's actually like a very relevant thing. Like,
maybe I'm just, I don't know. I also don't have kids, and I don't get I don't know.
I mean, I think adults can also get scarlet
strep
fever.
Throat?
When was the last time you had strep throat? Ever?
When I was a kid. I still have my tonsils, but it's been a long time.
Oh my God, I've had strep throat maybe a couple of years ago.
Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know.
Yeah, strep throat is definitely very, very common still.
Oh, I thought it was just a kid thing.
No. I think you're thinking of, no, because I actually know an adult that got chickenpox too.
Yeah, that I would also associate that with being a kid illness.
No, apparently when you're an adult, it's 10 times worse than when you get it as a kid.
Damn.
Yeah, I still have scars from when I had chickenpox as a kid.
I don't remember. I remember.
Did you have chickenpox?
I think, but I don't remember it being bad.
You would probably get it before you have any recollection, though. I think I was 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So I don't think you'd necessarily remember it. But yeah, how crazy is that, guys? So all of the artists that were able to identify a scarlet fever. We vote for you.
Go on.
We vote for you to be the
educators,
master
please.
certified triple educating motherfuckers.
No, but truly, that is it. To be able to call that out and figure that out, is that those are the kind of people you need to learn from, because they can, troubleshoot and they know every sort of situations. I would have looked at it and been ringworm.
Well, okay. So apparently scarlet fever, you get a crazy body rash too. And I'm looking at these pictures and honestly, it looks just like the picture. Yo, these are the bitches that need to be in charge of the fucking medical field here. Dead ass. Wow. That is good on you guys. Good on fucking you. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Me neither.
Crazy. All right, guys. Spray tan of the fucking week. This is going to an artist that's never gotten spray tan of the week before.
Oh.
Her @ is Sunless by Shelby, and she services Cleveland and Chattanooga.
Okay.
She had a crazy spray tan week for prom tans. She posted this prom tan, and it looks like she used Perfect Glow for this. Guys, I was so impressed by this tan. It was the perfect depth for this client without pushing the boundary of being almost too dark.
Right.
Like, and she has depth. Like you're like, oh, that tan bitch, period. But it is like teetering, like as dark as she could have gotten her without looking fucking crazy. It is beautiful. And I'm so impressed at the fact that she was really able to find that sweet spot for this client. So gorgeous. She was in like a black prom dress, so cute. The blend, flawless. I mean, the overall color, development time, no notes. So Sunless by Shelby, our Chattanooga sweetheart, go off because
Congrats,
this tan
sister.
was gorgeous. I love seeing all of the prom tans and like seeing all the girlies get all dolled up. It's one of my favorite times of year.
Congrats, sister.
So cute. So we'll share that on our Insta. We'll go ahead and tag her so you can give her a follow. But yeah, that is all we have for you guys today. It's been a pleasure. I hope you guys took some gems away from our good friend Jenn Dieas. She gave us all a little therapy session, honestly.
I love her so much.
So much. She was so sweet. So yeah, we will go ahead and leave you guys. Bid you adieu, Oregon Trails times. We'll see you next Monday, bitches.
Bye.
Bye.